In this lecture, we are going to learn how we can create a document in a MongoDB collection with the help of Mongoose. For that, let's go to VS Code, and whenever a post request will come to /API/v1/hotels endpoint, we are calling this create method of this hotel controller. And this create method is the route handler function for any post request coming to root URL /v1/hotels endpoint. So if I go to hotelscontroller.js, there we have this create method, and this create method should handle any incoming post request on the hotels resource, and it should create a new hotel document in the hotels collection. For that, we have already seen how we can do that. So in one of the previous lectures, we learned about the save method. So what we can do is we can create a variable, we can call it as hotel, and to create this variable, we are going to use the hotel model. So here I can say new hotel. And to this hotel model, we need to pass the hotel document which we want to create. Now, since we are handling a post request, the hotel document which we want to create in the hotels collection, that we will receive with the request. So from the request, we can read its body, and the request body is going to contain the hotel object with which we want to create a document. Now here we are creating a hotel object in memory, and we want to save that hotel object as a document in the hotels collection. For that, on this hotel, I can call save method. Okay, and it is going to save that hotel object as a document in the hotels collection. And this save method, it returns us a promise. So if the document was saved successfully, it is going to return us a resolved promise. And if there was some error saving the document, in that case, it is going to return us a rejected promise. And we can handle the resolved and rejected promise using then and catch method. So if you want to handle the resolved promise, that means if the hotel document is saved successfully in the database, after that you're going to receive a resolved promise. If you want to handle that, you can use this then method, and to that you can pass a callback function. This callback function is going to receive the newly created document as its parameter, and you can do anything with that document. Here I'm simply going to log that document in the console. Okay, so here I'm going to log the document which is newly created in the database. But if this save method was not able to save the document in the collection, it is going to return us a rejected promise, and that rejected promise can be handled using this catch method. And again, this catch method takes a callback function, and this callback function is going to receive the error object, basically the error which has occurred while saving the document in the collection. And here also we can handle that rejected promise by writing some logic. Here I'm simply going to log a message in the console. I will log it as an error saying that cannot save the document, something like this. So we can either write it like this using then and catch, or the better way will be to use try and catch block. So try and catch block is more cleaner and it is more readable. So we can also do the same thing using try and catch block. For that, all we need to do is we need to wrap this code within a try catch block. So here I'll cut it, and I am going to write a try catch block. This catch block is going to receive any error which occurs while saving the document in the collection. So inside the try block, I'm going to write those two lines of code. Okay, and here we are also going to wait for the promise to get resolved, because this save method, it is going to run asynchronously and it is going to return us a promise. So we need to wait for that promise to be either resolved or rejected. And for that, I'm going to use await keyword in front of this. So this await keyword will wait for the promise returned by this save method to be either resolved or rejected. And based on that, it is going to execute further logic. If the save method returns a rejected promise, in that case, this catch block will be called. But if it returns a resolved promise, in that case, after this line, we can go ahead and we can write some more code to send a response to the client. So for example, here I can say response dot status. So first I'm going to set a status. Here I'm going to set the status code as 201, which stands for created, because here we are creating a new resource on the server. So that's why I'm sending a response code 201, which stands for created, and then I'm going to send a JSON response. To this, let's pass an object. In that object, first I'm going to set the status to success. I'm going to set the data, and here I'm going to use enveloping, and inside that I'm going to specify the movie property. Basically, in the response, I want to set the newly created movie object. Now, how are we going to get the newly created movie object? So this save method, if it is resolved, then with the resolved promise, it is going to return us the newly created document in the resolved promise. So the resolved promise is going to emit the newly created hotel document as the data. So we are going to save it in a variable. So here I can say new hotel equals the hotel object which this save method will return. Okay, and I'm going to send this new hotel in the response. With this, let's save the changes. And in the same way, we can also handle the rejected promise. So in case if the document was not saved in the collection, this save method is going to return us a rejected promise. And when it is going to return us a rejected promise, basically it is going to throw an exception, and that exception will be handled by this catch block. Also here you will see that we have an error which says await can only be used within an async function. So since we are using await inside this function body, we need to make this function as async. So this function should run asynchronously. And for that, I'm going to use this async keyword before this function body, before this function definition. Okay, and that error is gone. Now, as I said, if the document was not saved in the collection, this save method is going to return us a rejected promise. It is going to throw an exception, and that exception we can handle inside this catch block. So for now, I'm going to handle it in a very simple way. All I'm going to do is I'm going to send a response. In that response, I'm going to set the status code as 500, which stands for internal server error. So currently I'm creating a generic error response where I want to tell the client that something has gone wrong on the server. Later in this course, we will handle specific errors. But for now, let's write some generic error handling. Okay, so here the status will be fail, and instead of data, here I'm going to specify a message property, and there I'll say something went wrong. Please try again later. Okay, let's save the changes and let's see if we are able to create a new hotel document. Before that, let me go to Compass. Currently, we have 3 hotel documents. So I'm going to delete all of them. Okay, and now let's go to Postman. And here, let me open create new hotel request. And here I'm going to create a new hotel object with name, city, and price. So the name of the hotel is Test Hotel. Let me go ahead and let me send this request. And in the response, you will see we have received this message 201 created. So our post API is working as expected. In the response, we have also received the movie object which has been created. So it is Test Hotel, price is 3000, city is Jaipur. And here we can also see this ratings field, and it is set with this value 1. So if I go back to VS Code, and there if I show you the schema, what we are telling is if the ratings is not provided, in that case create the ratings field with the default value 1.0, and that's what you will see here. A ratings field has been created with the default value 1. And along with that, we also have this underscore ID field, which is the unique identifier for this movie document. So this underscore ID value, it is going to be unique for each hotel object in this document. Okay, I'm calling it as movie, but it should be hotel. So in the controller, let me specify the data as hotel. Okay, so this was a mistake, but this API is working as expected. Now here, what we can also do is, here what we are doing is, we are first creating a hotel object in memory, and then we are saving it in the database. But instead of doing it in these two steps, we can achieve it in a single step using another method called create. And we can call the create method directly on the model. So here we are importing this hotel model. On this hotel model, we can go ahead and we can call create method. And to this create method, we can pass the hotel document which we want to create. So that hotel document we are going to receive in the request body. I'm going to pass that request body here. Okay. So this create method, what it is going to do is, first it is going to create a hotel object in memory, and then it is going to save it in the hotels collection. So these two lines of code which we are writing here, we can achieve it in a single line. And this create method, it is also going to run asynchronously, and it is also going to return us a promise. So here I'm going to use a wait keyword. And once this create method has successfully inserted the document in the collection, it is going to return us that newly created document. So I'm going to store it in a variable, and I can call it as new hotel, but I'm simply going to call it as hotel. And now I want to send this hotel document, this newly created hotel, in the response. And since here the name of the variable and the name of the property is same, I can remove this explicit assignment, and this should also work. Let's save the changes. Let's go to Postman and let's create a new hotel object. So here I'm going to create test hotel 2. This is in Delhi. And here let me also specify the ratings field, and let's say ratings is 3.4. Let me go ahead and let me send the request. So we have received 201 created. In the response, we are receiving the hotel document, and we are calling test hotel 2. Okay, so this hotel is also created. And if I go to the compass, let's quickly verify if the documents are created or not. So you will see both the documents are created. So this create method is also working as expected. Using this create method, we have combined these two steps into a single step. So in this way, we can create new documents using Mongoose model inside a MongoDB collection. Now, before I wrap up this lecture, I also want to do some testing. So let me save this file and let's go to hotel.js. And here on these fields, we have added some validators. So first of all, this name should be a unique value. So if I try to create a new hotel document with the same name, but let me change the price to 5,000, and this also I want to create it in Delhi. If I send this request, we should get an error in the response. You see, here what happened is, since this name is not unique, Mongoose has thrown us an error. And we are handling that error using this catch block. And how we are handling it? By sending a 500 response with this message, something went wrong, please try again later. And that's what you will see in the response. So if there is any validation error which happens, currently for all type of errors, we are sending this same response. But in the future lectures, we are going to modify this and we are going to send error specific response to the client. But as you can see, the document was not saved. So this create method, before saving the document in the collection, it is going to run all the validators which we have defined on this hotel schema. And if any validation fails, this create method is not going to save the document in the collection. Instead, it is going to throw an error. And that error will be handled by this catch block. Also, the create method and the save method, which we used before, they run the validators by default. But there are some update methods which does not run the validators by default. For them, we need to explicitly tell those methods that they also need to run validator. And that we will see in our coming lectures. But for now, I hope that now you understand how we can create documents inside a collection of MongoDB database from our Express application using a Mongoose model. This is all I wanted to cover in this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.